What's going on? It's Tysophon, and today I want to dive into something deeper than just gameplay mechanics and flashy boss fights. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are packed with emotional storytelling and character growth, and honestly, they leave us with some powerful lessons about life, identity, and how we face the future. So in this video, I'm breaking down the biggest life lessons we can learn from playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, with moments from the story that really drive those lessons home.
Let's play!
Lesson 1. Identity is complicated, and that's okay. Cloud Strife is the clearest example of this. In Remake, he starts out cold and detached, acting like he's just a hired sword, but we quickly realize he's putting on a mask. His memories are fractured, and he's struggling with who he thinks he is versus who he really is. Take the scenes in the Sector 5 church with Aerith, or even the awkwardness during the wall market events. They show a guy trying so hard to play it cool, but the cracks are already there. By the time we reach Rebirth, those cracks only get wider, especially in Nibelheim, where reality and memory collide. The lesson that we can learn from this? Identity isn't fixed. It's okay to be unsure of who you are. Like Cloud, we are allowed to stumble while figuring it out, and we can still move forward even when the picture isn't clear. Lesson 2. The weight of the past doesn't define the future. Almost every major character is haunted by their past. Tifa carries guilt for what happened at Nibelheim. Barrett regrets his time working with Shinra that destroyed Corel. Aerith feels trapped by her heritage as the last ancient. And Sephiroth, his entire worldview is poisoned by what he learns about his origins. But what stands out is how they choose to deal with that weight. Tifa still chooses to be Cloud's anchor, even while hiding her pain. Barrett fights for a better world for Marlene. And Aerith, she doesn't run from her faith. She embraces it, showing strength even in the face of destiny. Think about the Junon parade sequence in Rebirth. It's filled with history, propaganda, and reminders of Shinra's control, yet the group pushes through anyway, proving that the past doesn't lock them down. The takeaway from this is our past influences us, but it doesn't have to define us. We can still choose what comes next. Lesson 3. Connection is what gives life meaning. One of the most emotional parts of the Remake project is how it highlights the importance of bonds. Remember when the Sector 7 plate falls in Remake? That entire sequence shows how fragile life is and how much people rely on one another to survive. Cloud could have kept being that detached mercenary, but instead, he stays and helps, proving his connections to Avalanche matter more than money. Rebirth takes this even further. The Gold Saucer dating scenes is a perfect example of this. Each character opens up about their fears, their dreams, and their struggles. It's one of the most humanizing moments in the game, and it proves that these connections are what make the journey meaningful. And honestly, that's true for us too. Life is fuller when we share it with others, when we let ourselves form real bonds instead of keeping our guard up. Lesson 4. Resistance matters even against overwhelming odds. Avalanche's fight against Shinra is basically hopeless. Shinra has money, power, and influence everywhere, and when Sephiroth enters the picture, things feel even more impossible. But look at what happens during the plate collapse or the reactor missions. Even when it feels like all their efforts are crushed, Avalanche keeps resisting. Jesse, Biggs, Wedge, they put everything on the line, knowing that they might not see tomorrow. Rebirth pushes this lesson with the Cosmo Canyon arc, where we see Red 13 learn that even a small spark of resistance can keep hope alive. The lesson here? Standing up to overwhelming odds matters. Even if the system feels too big, even if we feel powerless, our actions still count. Resistance inspires others, and that's how change begins. Lesson 5. Loss is painful, but it shapes growth. Loss is baked into the DNA of Final Fantasy VII. Remake already forces us to feel this with the loss of Jesse, Biggs, Wedge, while Rebirth plays with our expectations around Aerith's faith, keeping us on edge the entire time. These moments are devastating, but they also shape the survivors. Barrett becomes even more determined to protect Marlene. Tifa learns that even though she's scared of more heartbreak, she has to keep opening her heart. In Cloud, he starts realizing he can't keep shutting people out. because loss hurts more when you face it alone. The truth is, we can't escape loss in our own lives either, but these games show us we can decide how to carry it, and how to keep going without letting it break us. Lesson 6. Fate isn't set in stone. The Whisperers in Remake are basically Destiny police. They try to keep the story on its original path, but the party chooses to fight back. The moment in the Highway to Destiny boss battle makes the metaphor crystal clear. Fate only has as much power as you're willing to give it. Rebirth builds on this idea, constantly asking, do we accept what's already written, or do we try to change it? The characters don't have all the answers, but they keep pushing forward anyway. The lesson for us to take from this is, fate isn't absolute. Even when the odds feel stacked, we still have choices. We may not control everything, but we can change our direction, and sometimes that's enough to rewrite everything. Lesson 7. Hope is the strongest weapon we have. Hope runs through every part of the story, but nobody represents it more than Aerith. Even knowing what's coming, she chooses joy, kindness, and optimism. Think about the Temple of the Ancients sequence in Rebirth. Aerith doesn't give in to despair, even with so much hanging over her. Her hope isn't naive, it's powerful. It keeps the group moving forward and gives them strength in the darkest moments. That's something we can take into our own lives. Hope isn't about ignoring reality, it's about facing reality with courage. And sometimes, hope isn't the only thing that keeps us moving when everything feels impossible. So when you step back and look at it, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth aren't just reimaginings of the classic, they're lessons wrapped in an RPG. They remind us that identity is complicated, but that's okay. The past doesn't define us. Connections are what make life worth living. Resistance matters even when it feels hopeless. Loss hurts, but it shapes us. Fate can be challenged, and hope is the most powerful weapon we carry. And that's what makes these games timeless. They don't just entertain us, they give us lessons we can carry into our own lives. Before I go, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments which lessons resonated with you the most, or if you pulled something totally different from Remake and Rebirth. As usual, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to keep up with more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. This has been Ty Savon, and I'm out, people. Later.